Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, with another episode of VSW. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, and we're here with another exciting episode of VSW. Today, we're talking Limitless, wrestling's pressure point. That's right, coming at you live, streaming on IWTV, Friday, July 16th at 8 p.m. Kickoff show starts at 7:45. This is the last of the pandemic era tapings for Limitless Wrestling as they have returned to live events. We were actually at one at Patience is a Virtue. It was great. You should hear our recap. But anyways, this is going to be an event in the making. We're very excited for this one. A lot of great matches have been announced. And we will go through them. We'll talk a little bit about them, It is an end or an era as far as these tapings go. But, Limitless has done an amazing job, during the pandemic with their shows. Pandemic of the Dojo. And then, The Road, seasons 1, 2, and 3. And plus, they did the Vacation Land Cup. And, Double Vision. The games we play, so on and so forth. They've really held it down during the pandemic. These shows have all been great, and, I'm really proud of them, honestly, of how they've done. And it's great because now they're back, and I feel like they're better than ever. They've grabbed even more of a fan base. I feel like people are really into it. They've gotten to get to know the wrestlers more through the storylines of The Road, and people are more invested than ever in wrestling right now, and in the independent scene anyways. But, yeah, so, this Friday, big show. Let's take a look now what I'm going to be talking about here. First off, the Kickoff. It was announced today. John Alba and, Davey have been in some talks. I'm not sure if Davey Ann is so receptive to this, but John Alba has definitely reached out to Davey. And, I don't know what his game is. I made a post a while back on my social, and he answered, I actually asked, who do you think, if Garcia retains the title, who do you think's next in line? And John Alba's response to me was, he would love to get Davey Ann there. That sounds genuine to me. It sounds like he wants to help her, maybe for his own prestige, but I don't know. He doesn't really sound... I don't know. I don't know. He doesn't sound as malicious as people are thinking. We've had John Alba on the show. He's a straight shooter. He can definitely be trusted. He tells it how it is. So really, what has Davey Ann got to lose? But here's the thing now. Things have gone, she's been dogging him. And now John Alba is going to get to choose Davey Ann's opponent at Pressure Point. And it's going to be called the Prestigious Challenge. This is amazing. John Alba can pick anybody. So, there's a whole talent list. Will it be one of his own men? Will it be, somebody else? Will we see Davey versus McDaniel? Is what I mean. Or BRG or Channing Thomas. Or, will we see her facing... another female talent, somebody else that, John Alba maybe is in behind the scenes gotten to, bring in. Who knows? We're going to definitely have to check this out. Like I said, this all kicks off at 7:45. I'm not actually really sure what the kickoff match is going to be. I'm just reading them in the order that I find how it most easily flows and how I've gotten information in, and so forth, and how things have been released. As you know, in any professional wrestling, the card just doesn't get released all at once. It's a build-up. Okay, and it's part of the game, and some people get really, really agitated with that. I get that. I've gotten people complaining, like, why won't they just tell me who's on the card all at once before I buy the ticket? And I'm like, look, let them just build it up. It makes for an event when we don't know the whole card. I'll tell you, patience is a virtue was a totally... The only thing we knew that Everett was going to be there, and you know what? It was an amazing event. So, I kind of like to be in the dark a little bit. But, so we got this match. This is going to be a great one. Speaking of great ones, and speaking of, real feuds, we have the first ever, I want to say, in the history of professional wrestling, the first ever Mirror Mirror on the Wall brawl. And that's going to be taking place between none other than Everett and Love Doug. Now, these two have been at each other's neck for a while now, Love Doug, a big fan of Ava, not a fan of anyone. Love Doug did get the victory before in that Bed of Roses match. And, that was a big, big win for Love Doug. Will he be able to repeat that success here at Pressure Point? I don't know. Everett is a very fierce competitor. I don't know if, everybody knows that. Besides, what you've seen on Limitless, she's been wrestling for a while, and she's great. She's been as the Ava Taker. You should see some of the stuff she did. Platinum Honeys, I used to watch her in NCW and a few other promotions, when she was with AG. And even against AG, they wrestled each other. She's very well experienced, and she has something to prove, and she has a different attitude now. We're seeing a different Ava right now, a very angry Ava, a very mad Ava, a very hating Ava. And I'll be the first one to say I kind of like it. She's a little bit scary, and I think she needs to be if she wants to keep competitive edge in the women's division at Limitless. I mean, you got a lot of tough competition out there. And, I think some of Ava's scare tactics work well for her in how she controls the atmosphere of the Limitless locker room. She can't be a pushover, especially when you have, stars like Davian, Becca, Jodie Threat, Even at one point, you had people like Chris Statland all in the locker room. Ava has to do something to stand. And, she's at her breaking point, and she's here to prove something. I think, she's going to go after Doug. If Doug's smart, he's going to use her anger against her. Kind of like those old cartoons where you'd see, the giant trying to catch the little guy, and the guy would just kind of play it out, wait till the right time, move out the way, the giant falls, he runs behind him, different things like that. He's going to have to plan accordingly, but if he uses her anger, she's going to make mistakes, and he can use that against her. That would be my opinion. I really can't give, who I think is going to win this match, because they're both tremendous superstars, and both of them could pull out this victory. I know Love Doug is looking for love, and he's come off some great wins. He got that win against Bobby Orlando, for the love of Bobby Orlando Jr. So this should be, a great feud match, long-term storytelling. Get it out of me. Very excited for that. Another hard-hitting matchup, though, coming our way at Pressure Point. Tyree Taylor versus Ken Broadway. This is going to be like, two Mack trucks colliding. I mean, it's insane. The amount of force that's behind each of these wrestlers. They're both, very high impact, hard hitting, guys. And it's going to be a good feud. This is one of my favorite matches of this card that I think is going to be a sleeper match. Just because of that reason. I've watched both of these guys on the road. They both have crushed it. And like I said, they're hard hitting. And they're just devastating. And like I said, I saw, I think it's Limitless Sign Guy drew something earlier of a truck, and that's what reminded me of Mack trucks. And, and that's what these guys are, Mack trucks. They just keep going and going, full steam ahead, plowing through whatever has to be. And you know what? Now they're going to come colliding at each other. It's going to be a fight for the ages. And like I said, I think it's going to be the sleeper match. At the end of the day, I am going with Tyree Taylor on this. I think he wants it a little bit more. I think he's a little bit more hungry. And I think he is just gonna come out victorious. But it's going to be a battle, if not a war. And then we still got so much more action on this card. My goodness, okay? This card is just stacked to the max. We got the leader of the Scrungy Squad, Becky, versus the Wild Child, Jodie Threat. She's back from Canada there. We saw her at Patience is a Virtue. We've seen her at some other Limitless shows. She's back, and she is doing great and wonderful things. She faced Everett at the last tape show. And, she's hungry for this. But she's going up against one of the best in the business, someone who's really dominated in this era of, tapings. And that is Becca. I mean, she's won multiple gold across multiple promotions. And, she's really killed it at Limitless. Singles, tag team, she's done great work. I am going with Becky on this match. I just think that she has the heart of a champion, and there's not many people that can beat her. Jodie Threat is a tremendous athlete. Like I said, saw her live actually a few times recently, and she has lit up the scene. The crowd goes wild. She feeds off that. She can wrestle, she can move, she can do everything in the ring. Really, really talented. These two women are going to give us a show like we've probably never seen. I feel like with this being the last taping, I think everybody is going to give a tremendous, tremendous show for us. But with this one, I think it's going to be Becca. Then, we got J.D. Drake versus the Poisoned Youth, Robert Martyr. Talk about somebody else that's been killing it all around the scene. Well, both of these guys. You got J.D. Drake, he's here, but he's also on AEW. And then Robert Martyr, he's been all over the place. Just, wrestling, making his name known. Very nice individual. Got to speak with him a little bit at Patience is a Virtue. And just like I said, overall, nice kid. Very young, but very talented for that age. And that's what's so dangerous. If he's that good now, what's a couple more years is he going to be like? He can be world champion anywhere in a few years. He is another one with the heart of a champion. But he's going up against, J.D. Drake. And J.D. Drake is no game. Okay? He's no joke. He will seriously hurt you. Robert, you can end up in the hospital because of J.D. Drake. But, you have, like I said, have the heart of a champion. It's going to be a great matchup between you two. At the end of the day, I do think that JD Drake is going to get the victory. He's a little bit more seasoned. He has a little bit more, ring time. He's been on TV, and he's got kind of an advantage against you in size. With that being said, though, you could out-wrestle him probably. Robert Martyr, I'm saying. Sorry, I'm speaking directly to you now. But, yes, in a way, Robert Martyr could out-wrestle JD Drake and get the victory that way. I'm saying JD Drake, if this turns into a blow-for-blow battle, JD Drake is going to win. If Robert Martyr can change the match to the way that he wants it to be, and on his terms, then he definitely could pull this out and win the victory. We'll have to see how it goes. I really can't wait. This is another match I can't wait for. All these matches I can't wait for. Okay? I mean, you got Beef the Freak versus Rip Bison in a grudge match. Talk about, two wrestlers that could rip each other apart, put each other in the hospital. It's these two. They're old school kind of style, hard hitting, just ferocious beasts. And I love it. I really, really love it. Really proud of Rip Bison. Heard some news. He's starting a promotion. Or at least, starting a promotion. I heard it's going to be based loosely off like the New Japan style of wrestling, which is like strong style, which is more, physical. And you got to beef up a little bit, the hard strikes. And I think, this is going to be good. This is going to bring another level of depth to the independent scene. But meanwhile, before all that happens, Rip is killing it on Limitless. He lit the place on fire at Patience is a Virtue and just destroyed it. I mean, he came out and the crowd went wild. Like I said, he's everything that you could want out of a professional wrestler when you think of professional wrestling. But in the meantime, you got Beef the Freak, and this guy, he's a freak. And this battle, he's going to be relentless on Rip. He's not going to stop till he has victory. So this is going to be another brutal battle. At the end of the day, I think that Rip Bison will take the victory. He's on a streak. He's on a roll. I think he'll use, that momentum and go with it. But nothing against Beef the Freak. He's a tremendous athlete. Then we move on to the Battle of the Kevins. Kevin Koo versus Kevin Blackwood. Kevin Koo, very underrated, I feel, in Limitless. He is a tremendous athlete, very athletic, very fierce competitor. Probably should have more title shots under his belt, or maybe even a title reign. I don't know. I feel like he's just had some bad luck in qualifying matches to make him the next person in line. With that being said, though, he is a beast in the ring. He's a workhorse, and he can do almost anything. He's going up against, though, one of my favorite wrestlers in Limitless, Kevin Blackwood. This guy is tremendous. He reminds me of an UFC fighter turned wrestler, combined. He's very athletic as well. Very good with the submissions. Very technically solid and sound. And he always has his man, the reigning champion, Garcia, in his corner, which I heard that in this event they will not be able to be in each other's corners, which will give a fair fight for Kevin Koo. It's very hard to have a match when you have the company's champion staring at you from the opposing corner and interfering and doing anything else it takes, for Kevin Blackwood to win. Kevin's going to have to earn this one on his own. I think he's going to win. I still think Kevin Blackwood is going to take the victory. But I think this time it's going to be because of him and not because of something Garcia did or said. I think the time, is coming now soon for Blackwood to be next in line for a title shot. And when that happens, he's going to have to put friendships aside because this is a business. And he's going to have to, face his friend for that title. You don't always want to be known as second best, Blackwood, okay? You're very good. You're very talented. Garcia's the best in the world, but, you're sliding right behind him. And sooner or later, you two are going to have to clash. It can still be done in a friendly manner. There's been plenty of friends who have fought for the title and after remained friends. Look at Hogan, look at Warrior. They fought each other. Title versus title at WrestleMania. After that, they were still friends. This could happen with Kevin Blackwood and Daniel Garcia down the line. But in this match, I think Blackwood is going to steal the win on his own and continue his success. Speaking of success, these two weren't very successful in their last two matches, actually. They were facing Kevin Blackwood and Garcia for with the promise of getting tag titles at some point. They lost that match. They got basically called out at Patience is a Virtue by the Prestige. And, actually, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't the Prestige. It was Prestigious. It was all three of them. They came out talking they were the greatest trio in the business. And another trio came out, and that was MSP, Danger Kid, Aggro, and actually Alexander Lee all came out. It was very retro. They had, the buoys, the flag, the jackets. I mean, we're talking... This gave goosebumps to the fans, I think. It gave goosebumps to me. Unfortunately, they were not successful in that match either. And you know what? At the end of it, we saw, Danger Kid and, the captain lay down their buoys, lay down their vest, drape their flag over Alexander Lee and walk out the ring. And, that's the end of the era of the Mainstay Posse. They will now be known as MSP, and it's the vibe. Things are going to be different. With that being said, they are going up against another great, tremendous tag team. Talk about someone who's been on AEW television, the Sea Stars. Delmy Exlow and Ashley Vox. They're going to collide head-to-head with MSP. Because, at the end of the day, a lot of tag teams were a little upset at MSP. Why should they have been the one to represent the whole division against Garcia and Blackwood? They really maybe shouldn't have. They should have maybe held the tournament to see who would face them. I don't know. But C-Star said they have something to prove, and they're going to sure prove it. This is going to be a great tag team match. Me as a fan of tag team wrestling can't wait for it. And like I said, I'm eager to see how MSP works with their new kind of vibe. I've seen it in other promotions a little bit here and there. They wrestled down at Fear the Gay Agenda by No Peace, and they did a tremendous job down there. It was unbelievable, especially for like a ordinary setting. There was no ring. It was like a stage setting. It was great. It was a great tag match. And then we brings us to our main event of the evening. It's actually a VSW podcast sponsored match. We got Red Death, Daniel Garcia, defending his title against the number one contender, Alec Price. The Price City OG, but squeezed into this, kind of like Daniel Bryan was squeezed into it, is Ace Romero. So it will be a three-way contest for the title. Now, let me tell you something. I'm opposed to this right off the bat. Ace, I like you. You're good. You don't belong in this match. Alec Price, you're amazing, kid. You're amazing. You deserved in this victory. You deserve to be there. You won some great matches to get there. You're on fire all over New England. Okay? If anything, you deserve this. And it should be a one-on-one match, you and Garcia. I don't know why AC got thrown into this. I never got a straight answer from Randy Carver. I never got a straight answer from the Limitless, other people. And that's fine. I don't need answers. And it's going to be a great match, but I do feel it's unfair for Alec Price. He won a one-on-one match, not a three-way contest. Three-way matches can end a little differently. Garcia can pin AC and Alec loses and didn't have nothing to do with it. Someone's going to end up bitter because they won or lost and the pin wasn't there for them. And that's what happens in three ways on wrestling. But, you have, like I said, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time right now, Alec Price. And he's going up against another one of my favorite wrestlers. Believe it or not, I'm a huge Daniel Garcia fan. I love Red Death. He's got multiple titles and multiple promotions right now. I think 3 or 4 at least. And he's just an overall professional. The way he comes in, his manner, he's there to be the champion. That's his manner. He doesn't come out being loud and obnoxious. He walks to the ring, He wipes his feet off before he steps into the ring. That's old school. To kick your heels a little bit. He has some tradition, but he's kind of quiet. He is kind of quiet. He had some words for us live fans, but again, for the most part, he's a quiet guy. He just proves himself in the ring over and over and over and over again. And then you do have, Impact, AEW superstar, Ace Romero. And this is going to be the wow factor. Because, he has a grudge with Alec Price. So his main focus is Price and Price not winning the title. This will be very easy for Garcia to capitalize on this. He could pin either one of those men if they were to get hurt bad enough. But I don't know what is in store for these three. I am gonna make a bold prediction. It might not be what I want, because I really do want his time to shine, Alec Price. I really do. I really hope he proves me wrong on this and wins the title, because I want him to. But I have a feeling AC is going to tie him up to the point that Garcia is going to capitalize and retain. I think Garcia retains the title and moves on. And, it's not going to be fair for Alec Price. He should have had this one-on-one match so there wouldn't be the distraction of AC Romero. If Randy Carver's listening, he should really think about it. Think about what's fair here. Because at the end of the day, when Alec was, fighting for this number one contender spot to get the title shot, he wasn't said he was competing in a triple threat. He was competing one-on-one against the champion. I mean, how do you just change rules without telling anybody? But, like I said, I'm not the owner of Limitless. If that's how they want to run it, that's fine. Like I said, I feel bad for Price. I think he's going to lose. He's going to lose the most on this one. But, like I said, I hope he proves me wrong. Because I'd like nothing more than that. Especially when, I'd love to see the era of Alec Price as champion. He is, a tremendous wrestler wherever you watch him. And definitely championship material. So, check it out. Friday night, 7:45, IWTV. You're not going to want to miss it. Limitless. Pressure Point. Check it out. We'll be doing a recap, of course. And also, on the 24th, check out VSW and Show Out Wrestling combined presenting Cruising for a Bruising. a once-in-a-time, life-changing style kind of an event that will be taking place live on this YouTube channel. You're not going to want to miss it. If you like indie wrestling, if you like VSW, if you like any of this stuff that you hear on any of our shows, then you're going to want to tune in to Cruising for a Bruising. Check it out. And also, the Sportscast is back. Yeah, that's right. The Wolf is back in action and better than ever. So tune into all of his fun and excitement as well here on the VSW. I thank you, everybody, for tuning in and listening. Have a great rest of the night. Versace Stoner out.